wants to hear the story about the guy that I was seeing who was also seeing his sister. I meet this guy on Hinge, okay? He's gorgeous. Like, he looks just like Leo from Tell Me Lies, okay? Gorgeous. So he drives 2 hours to take me on our first date, and we had been talking for a couple weeks at this point, and this is right before or right after my divorce. So like, I would never do this now. I would never do this now. But I was like, okay, like, why don't you just like stay the night after our date? Girl, be so real. Do you think that's a good idea? No. I'll call him Tony. That's not his name. I opened my door, I said, Tony, and he looks up and starts skipping stairs to get to me. And he gives me a big hug, and he has flowers. He was like, I'm so excited to like actually see you. And I was like, me too. I was like, I'm finishing getting ready, like come in, whatever. He takes me to dinner. He has a really nice car. He takes me to a very nice restaurant. I'm like, okay, this guy has his life together. He had gotten out of the military. I won't say which branch. And he was getting his master's. So I was like, his life is like put together. I'm obsessed. And the conversation is so good. And he's so interested about my interests, which is like not typical. A lot of people just don't want to talk about neuroplasticity and how cool it is. That's like one of my biggest interests. He was clocked in. He was ready, okay? He was applying for the job to be my boyfriend. And he's telling me about him, and he grew up on a farm in a southern state, and he was homeschooled. But like, not the type of homeschool where you're with other kids, the type of homeschool that it's just you and your siblings, okay? And he has a sister who is like a year younger, 2 years younger. Anyways, so we finished the first day. He stays over. He's already texted me about our next date. He's excited. He's like really into it. So he says, why don't you come by me, which is by like Eastern, like ECU. I think that was the school he was getting his master's at. And he was like, we'll do like some fun mini golf. I'll take you to this hot dog place, because he knows I love hot dogs. I love hot dogs. Leading up to the date, I was feeling like sketched out for whatever reason. For really no reason. He was great. But my like intuition was like, ooh, this is not good. But my heart was like, what are you talking about? Like, shut up. Ugh. Having fun, living life, he's hot. At the same time, there was a documentary about that guy. I can't think of his name right now, but he was in Call Me By Your Name. And there was a documentary about like all the girls that he had like essayed. And like, for whatever reason, I was getting the same vibe. And I was also getting the same vibe of like, maybe he was gonna eat me at some point. And I can't explain why. He never like gave me any reason to believe that he was going to eat me, but I started to really, really hone in on the fact that he was gonna like hurt me somehow. So we go on the date. Date is so fun. But then at dinner, after mini golf, he was like, you know what? You look just like my cousin. And I was like, oh my gosh. Huh. And he was like, I mean, she's hot. I'm like, oh. Okay. He showed me a picture. I look identical. And then he's telling me how hot I am the rest of the night. And I'm thinking, oh, this guy wants to fuck his cousin. This is what this is. He wants to fuck his cousin. So we go back. He gets a hotel because he has a roommate because he's in school. He brings out things that I don't want. Wait, who are you doing that with? Because it ain't me. Like, dangerous things. Like for the bedroom? I was like, this isn't like, no. We started having like pillow talk, okay? We're getting really deep into conversation. And he reveals to me that when he was in like 3rd grade, him and his sister got really curious. I'm gonna throw up. Girl. I was like, huh? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? And he like really gets into detail of what they did from 3rd grade to a couple of years ago. They were having a full-blown relationship. in that in just that one way. Okay? I really hope y'all are picking up what I'm putting down, okay? Him and his sister had relations for years, and I'm fawning at this point because I'm like, I'm actually in danger. This is not good. I've been drinking. I can't drive home 2 hours. And so I become a therapist. I'm like, oh my gosh, like that probably really affected you, you know, throughout your whole childhood. Like, do you think that's like brought into your adult like your life? Like, I'm trying to be a therapist, you know, and try to make him feel comfortable to just like keep talking. But I'm like, I really don't want to hear it, but what am I gonna do? I gotta know where to go. So he tells me everything until we fall asleep. I'm driving home, he's calling me, and he's just like, I had so much fun, like I love getting to know you. And I'm like, oh, yeah, me too, so much fun. But I was like, you know what, it feels like you don't really have a relationship with God, so like I need that. And he was like, well, I also need someone that I can but like I said, yeah, and he's like, yeah, you just didn't seem into like all the things that I was into. Yeah, because I'm not. Because most people aren't. I'm not gonna yuck anyone's yum, but like yuck. Yucky. Yeah. No. Just because they look like Leo does not mean you should date them. No. Ugh. I'm so, like, honestly, this is embarrassing for me to tell. I've waited 2 years to tell this story because every time I try to, I'm like, oh, this looks bad for me. Like, ugh. I had a date Friday night with this man. We had met on Hinge. Last week, we exchanged numbers. We had chatted a little bit on the app for like a couple weeks or something like that. Nothing too in-depth. We exchanged numbers. We start texting. Super great. He was asking me like, how early do you get up in the morning? And I was like, oh, I'm up by 7 because I work. And he was like, okay, so I'm gonna make sure that you wake up to good morning texts every day from here on out. And I was like, cool, I like that. I love good morning texts. Communication with me is huge. Consistency, communication, big thing for me. I was like, bet, I like that. I like that energy. Anyway, so he was like, every morning, you will receive a good morning text. So he said that, right? At night, he goes to a movie with his buddies, right? I text him. I don't hear back till the afternoon the next day. No good morning text. So I say, not replying and no good morning text on day 2 is crazy work. And he was like, no, please, Em, give me another chance. I'm begging, give me another chance. I leave him undelivered for a little while because you are not going to leave me undelivered for that long and then get a text back right away. Lost your privilege. All I did was send him the sick of your broken promises. I'm getting a little tired of your broken promises. Meme. And I didn't say anything with it. It was just a screen recording of that song. He texts me back like maybe an hour later and he's like, please let me take you out on Friday to make it up to you. Honest, I'm not used to being to men. I'm too friendly and I'm too accommodating, and I'm trying to learn because I don't think it's getting me anywhere. They don't care if you're nice. They don't like it. They actually take you for granted and they are assholes if you're nice. So I'm trying to learn how to be a little less accommodating and less nice right away. Let them earn it. Respond, well. Look who's trying to win like brownie points by asking me out on Friday. Or something like that. And I'm like, we can do it. Told him, don't be disappearing on me again. And we pinky promised through like a GIF or whatever, whatever it is. Next day, I'm like, talk to him. I had this event. I had gotten soaking wet. It was a Shea Moisture event and I was working it. And I had gotten soaking wet carrying down the event. And I told him, I was like, I'm going to go get sangria. I'm not really a drinker, but like, I kind of feel like sangria. He's like, oh, can I just like ask how much the bottle of sangria is? I would love to treat you since you've had a hard day. Kind of noticing like he's pretty smooth. And to me, I'm not really into like the smooth talkers a ton. I myself am like not cool. I normally am really bad at receiving stuff. Like I grew up really poor. My mom told us like not to take anything from anyone, even if they want to help us. And so
I have had such a hard time receiving help. I'm not the type of girl that has her man pay for things because it makes me uncomfortable. But I was like, you know what? I'm just going to receive this, whatever. And I was like, oh, you're trying to get on my good side. Date day comes. We're going to go get sushi. I wear this cute little romper with some heels, did my toes, did my nails. Skin was oiled up. I looked nice. I did my makeup well. I don't have like any makeup on right now, really. So I looked a lot nicer than I do now. Walk in, immediately, he looks different than his pictures. But to be honest, it is what it is. He was making serious faces in his pictures. Like, I asked him for a smiling photo for his contact photo. And then I was like, okay, the smiling photo matched up with that. That didn't bother me too much. Like, he looked different, but like, don't we all, if you're posed in natural. Throughout the night, he's just making smooth after smooth comment. And I'm just like, to me, it can be cool, but like sometimes it comes off a little rehearsed. And I'm just like, listen, I'm just trying to breathe. And these compliments are just like left and right. He was like, you remind me of Poison Ivy. He's like he was like, I would let you poison me just if I could give you a kiss or touch you. Like, guys, I know now that's really cheesy, but I was just like, let me just disregard. Like, maybe he was just nervous. But I know you would be like, okay, then why would you continue talking to this man after the date then? Because we had really good conversation, but there was like so many moments like that where I was just like, it was just these over the top like compliments, and I was just like, I don't know, it wasn't like, oh, you just look beautiful, blah blah blah. It was just like these really, like, it was like he was trying to be really really smooth. And at one point I just tell him, I was like, listen, like, I just want to get to know you. Like, you can totally be yourself. Like, you don't have to be smooth, you don't have to, you know, impress me. Like, I just want to get to know you. As we're going, like, things become a little bit more natural. He's still throwing in those like comments every once in a while. And he was like, I could imagine spending every day with you. And I was like, we were at sushi for 2 hours. Like, you know that you want to spend every day with me? What? The thing is, we did agree on a lot of things, like futures, what we want for our lives, what kind of, like, how we want to be as parents, or what we're looking for in marriage. I'm like very intentional with dating. Like, I would like to be married one day. So I'm very intentional on first dates. Like, if it comes up naturally and we talk about those things, then we're going to. I can't even remember everything that was said. At the end of the night, I'm like, I'm kind of vibing, you know, like, we got a little good flirty banter. I felt like he was a little more relaxed by the end of the night. He did make that comment at the end where he's like, I could imagine spending every day with you. And I was kind of like, huh. So anyway, it's downpouring rain at this point, and I have to get to my car, which I parked on the street. So he grabs my hand, walks me to my car. And so for me, y'all, if I want a kiss, like, I'm going to get a kiss. And I don't want to get any attitude from you guys, because I did not take him home. All right. I don't want to hear nothing about it, because if I want to kiss somebody, I'm going to kiss somebody. I'm going to lock them lips. Okay. First of all, then you can see if you have chemistry. 2, I'm single as hell. So if I'm feeling it and we're on a date, I'm going to kiss the fool. All right. I'm going to get my kiss. I have one kiss under the awning. He's walking me to a car, pouring down rain, and he's like, oh, I don't know, a kiss in the rain seems kind of romantic. And mind you, after our first kiss, he did that like thing they do in the movies where they kick their feet up in the air. Like, I'm just gonna disregard that, because I don't want to get the ick. And he's like, I don't know, a kiss in the rain is kind of romantic. Pulls me in, grabs me, and we embrace, and we have a kiss. He takes me to my car, opens my car door, puts me in, and we drive off. When he gets home, he's like, I've had the most amazing time with you. So special to me. And I was like, how am I so special to you after one night? I was like, he's cool. But I was like, the texts were coming off a little intense. But I was like, you know, whatever. This morning, he's like, I'm still on cloud 9. I would stand in the rain to kiss you any day. Blah, blah. We're not texting that much because I'm with my friend and he's working. Around like the end of his work, he sends me a voice memo and he lets me know he's going to take a nap. And that he'll text me when he wakes up from the nap. And that, yeah, he can't wait to talk to me later. Because the nap was 6 p.m. on Saturday. It is 7:47 on Monday. And I have not heard from this man. I texted him yesterday and I said, dang, that must have been a really good nap. Well, dead silence. So I went and unmatched with him, because what? That's crazy. There's nothing I could have said to set this man off to want to ghost me, because we barely talked the next day. And I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm strong enough. I'm not a strong warrior, and I don't know if I can keep doing this.
So I'm a 90s baby, and I went on a date with a 2000s baby. And we were chit-chatting about what type of music we like. And he said, oh, what have you been listening to recently? And I said, oh, well, I like a little bit of everything, but lately I've been really fixated on classic Disney. He goes, classic Disney? I got you. Goes to his phone to play me a song. So I'm thinking, okay, he's going to play a random classic Disney song. I'm going to know immediately what it is because I know pretty much all of those songs by heart. He starts playing this song. It's like an upbeat song that I do not recognize. And I go, what is this? And he goes, it's classic Disney. And I go, from where? And he goes, Camp Rock. Camp Rock? I said classic Disney. And he goes, this is classic Disney. What do you mean? And I go, no. Like Aladdin or The Lion King or The Little Mermaid, like the classics. And he goes, oh, vintage Disney. Vintage Disney? Huh?
So I went on the worst first date of my life yesterday and I have to speak about it. Just for context, this was not like a random Hinge date. This is a guy who had followed me on Instagram for over a year and had very much been the one pursuing a first date. We were meant to actually be going on a date this evening, but the guy doesn't live in London. He messaged me being like, oh, well, I'm actually going to be up for Taste of London. And I was like, oh my God, I've always wanted to go to Taste of London but never been. He was like, you should definitely come. Why don't we swap out tomorrow for that instead? And I was like, wait, hold on, are you going with people? Like, I don't want to gate crash. And he was like, oh no, don't worry, I'm just going with a couple of people from work, but I'll be with them before you arrive. And when you arrive, you and I can go off and do our own thing. I turn up, first of all, literally cannot find this man. Like, arrive, there's no phone service anywhere. And bear in mind, we've never met in person before. So I know what he looks like in photos, but that doesn't always necessarily translate to recognizing someone in person. Anyway, finally find him in his group. He gets up to give me a hug. Everyone else just kind of looks at me and is like, hi. I got really bad vibes from the girls who were there, which I guess maybe they felt like I was crashing. I don't know, that's not how it was presented to me when I was invited. But then he's like, oh, everyone's finished their champagne, so why don't we go and get some more? And one of the girls he's with is like, can you get a nicer champagne than that one that we were just drinking? Which, already red flag. Anyway, we get the champagne for everyone, we go back, and then anyone who knows Taste of London, the whole point is going to go and experience the food, walk around, get a load of freebies, see all of the different brands there. When I tell you, this group was literally sat, not moving, the entire time. And do you know what? If it was really great vibes in the group, that would be a different thing. But it wasn't like at all. The vibes were really off. And also, the guy had said that we would just go off, the two of us. We literally sat there the entire time with this big group of people. And then I was like, okay, well, I want to go around, see some of the food, etc. And he was like, yeah, cool, I'll come with. So we go up and get food. Now, I wanted to go around all of the like freebie stalls. He clearly wasn't interested in anything free. Anyway, we went to like go and get a ramen thing, which he wanted. And then I was in the mood for some pasta. So we went to the Italy store there and I got a cannelloni and he wanted some like fried cheese thing. So I got that for him as well and I paid. Now bear in mind, I also paid for my ticket to go to Taste of London in the first place. Not that I've got any issue with paying for it, but if I'm paying for it, I do also want to get my money's worth out of the event, which I definitely felt like I wasn't getting. Anyway, I took the fried cheese thing and he took the cannelloni. We go back to his group of friends, sit down, he puts the cannelloni in his friend's lap, his friend proceeds to eat the entire thing. Literally my dinner that I paid for. I'm sat there with a block of fried cheese on my lap, like I didn't even want this. Peppering in some other insights of the evening. One of the girls that he was with literally verbatim said, oh, I just wish there was an ability to pay someone else to go and get my food because I can't be arsed with the queues. Like, I would definitely pay someone else to do it for me. Like, sorry. Then time is moving on and I was like, do you know what, I'm having a shit time and I want to feel like I've actually been to Taste of London. So I was like, again, I think I'm going to go up and like go around some of the food stalls, like try the freebies out. This man has been to Taste of London 3 times. Tell me why. We went up to one of the stalls and got a free thing. He was like, oh, I didn't realise you could get free food here. Like, that's literally the point of the event. I do not understand. Anywho, it's getting towards the end of the evening. We've been sat with his friends the entire time. And he's like, oh, you know, what's your plan? And I was like, oh, well, like, it ends at 9:30, right? So I was like, I'll probably go home, it's a work night. And he starts ringing all of his friends being like, oh, lads, are you still out? Are you still out? Ringing his friends, basically completely ignoring me. Girl that he's with, like, gets on the phone and is like, oh, yeah, we'll get a black cab to you guys. We'll be there in 20 minutes. So then, event ends. No questions on where I'm going, whether I'd like to come and join the group. We're all walking. All of the, like, wardens there are like, this way to Baker Street, you've got to go to Baker Street. And they're like, oh, well, we're getting in a black cab, so can we sneak through here and get out? And the guy was like, yeah, nobody asked to see how I was getting home. They then walk straight out, hail a black cab, all of the girls get in, and he's like, just turns to me, and I was like, well, I'm getting the tube home. And he was like, all right, yeah, nice to meet you. Gives me a hug, hops in the cab, doesn't ask how I'm getting home, doesn't say, let me know when you get in, nothing like that. So that was basically the worst date I've ever been on. Basically a group date with this guy and all of his friends as a first date. He also has since had the audacity to say, thanks for the evening. And then when I didn't respond to that message, because I didn't think it warranted a response, said, all okay, question mark? Question is, do I go back to him and let him know why I was really disappointed in the evening, or do I just leave it?
I'm deleting Hinge. I'm not gonna be on any dating sites anymore because what happened was crazy. So basically, I'm on this date with this guy, and he's very good looking. He's very handsome, okay? Tall, handsome, whatever. Very good looking. Personality wise, not really my type, but we get along fine. We're cordial, we have the same jokes, we have, you know, a little interest, and the whole day is going good. Like, we're having a great day and everything, and we don't go home until 3 a.m. really freaking late, way past my bedtime. So yeah, he drops me off, and we're in his car, and I notice he has like lotions and all this stuff, you know, nothing wrong with that. But then he whips out like a mouthwash, and I'm like, okay, like I like that you want to keep your mouth clean, whatever, but it's not like the mini one. It's like the full size mouthwash. And he kind of grabs it, like he grabs it like from, like, you know how you have doors have like the side pockets? He gets it from there, right? And then he's like, oh yeah, I use mouthwash, blah, 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 blah. He uses it, right? He uses mouthwash, he swishes it, and then he swallows it. It was 3 a.m. at this time. I was so tired. I didn't really have time to really process what had happened. But when I saw that, he had swished it, and then the next thing he was like talking normal, and I didn't see the car door open or anything. I was like, did you swallow that? And he was like, yeah. I was like, I don't think you're supposed to swallow that. I think you're supposed to spit it out. I don't think you're supposed to swallow that. And he was like, no, it's fine. I was like, hold up. Hold up. Mind you, I'm like tired as fuck right now. Like, I didn't really have time to really process that. I said, okay. I was like, I think you need to go to the doctor or something. Like, I think you need to go, like, the drug administration, like, something. And he was like, no, it's fine. So it seems to me that he's done that before. And I, like, processing it and telling my friends the next day, like, that's not normal. Like, that's not normal.
I was on a date and they set down the food, and this guy looks at the food and goes, oh my gosh, I want to take a picture. This is so beautiful. He pulls out his phone and takes a selfie and then puts it back in his pocket. No laughter, just back in his pocket. He took a selfie of himself because that's what he thought looked good. And it was so funny. Like, it was a John Mulaney type of joke, and it was just so dry, and it was just so perfect. I wish I could explain that better. Please tell me if you found that funny. I really wish you were there. And then he sent me the selfie to me after dinner. And it was a really good selfie. And he never took a picture of the food, by the way. Like, ever. So the bit just went till the end. And I love a good bit. I'm always here for a good bit. It was so funny. I wish you guys were there.
I just got back from a date, and I have to share. I think I'm done with dating. I can't. I think I finally understand why people settle, because this is so horrible and miserable. I just, like, what? Okay, so I went on a date tonight. This guy and I have been talking. He's like, let's do dinner. I'm like, beautiful, let's do dinner. I go to dinner, and whatever, you know, you get to a date and you instantly, within 3 seconds, you're like, nah, this is not it. That was it. Good looking guy, nothing about that. It's more of just like, you just don't vibe, right? And like, whatever. I'm like, you know what, Vanessa, like, give the guy a chance. Let's see how this goes, whatever. Honestly, the date was fine. The interesting part, though, is so we don't order till really late. We're having a drink. We're talking. We have the food. I barely eat. At this point, I'm like, it's so late. I'm not even like wanting to eat. I'm not hungry, blah, blah. He we already had ordered food, but he was like, I really want the chicken. I was like, you know what, dude, like, get the chicken. Like, I'm not hungry, but like, get the chicken. Like, good for you, get it. Like, okay, great. Now the chicken is here, and it's this full meal that neither one of us is gonna eat. I don't touch it for like 10 minutes. He's like, oh, like, are you gonna eat that? I was like, no, like, I'm so full, like, please have it. Fast forward, I am like waiting for the waitress to come. I'm like, just bring us the goddamn check. I am so done. I need to go home. I'm exhausted. I have nothing left to say. Like, at this point, I am overhearing the conversation next door because they're speaking in Spanish. I'm like, ¿qué? That's how bored I am right now. But mind you, I'm like trying to be nice and like have a good time, but I really want the waitress to come. She picks everything up and I'm like, you know what? Like, he didn't finish the chicken. Of course, because how much food had we ordered and none of us were hungry, or neither one of us were hungry. I'm like, you know what though? Like, you should take the chicken home. Like, for sure. Enjoy, sir, enjoy. Okay. But in my head, I'm like, he literally, I've barely eaten. I ate like 2 appetizers. Half of like the 2 or 3 appetizers that we ordered. Like, that's all I've eaten. And he like had this full chicken, right? So the check comes and he just lets it sit there, which is one of my biggest pet peeves. Like, I hate seeing a check sit there because it's just like, so are you paying? Am I paying? Like, what's happening? Like, you're obviously not grabbing it. So, and I'm trying, again, we're trying to leave. So I grab my credit card and I just put it down, me thinking that this man is going to put his credit card down. He grabs the check and he goes, you sure you don't want to just split it? Like, let's just split it. You know, I had more food than you. And in my head, I'm like, where did you think we weren't splitting it at this point? Like, I put my credit card, if I put my credit card down on a first date, there's not a second, I want to leave, let's go. Like, yes, we're splitting it, let's go. I was like, no, yeah, let's split it. Like, yeah. So he puts his credit card down, but also, sir, you ate most of the food you're taking home. And not only what he was taking home the chicken, he's like, actually, I'll take home the rest of the salad. Like, man has an entire lunch or dinner for tomorrow. I just paid for his dinner tomorrow, apparently. And also, if you're asking me on a first date, to dinner, your idea to go to dinner, have the decency to like treat a girl at least to the first date. Like, and again, I know people are going to come out after me and be like, she just wants to get free food. No, I really don't. I sat down and I was like, this is why I don't do dinner for first dates. I would much rather be at home eating by myself a home cooked meal. I'd be much happier than what I was for the whole night. He's like, oh, how are you getting home? Are you going to take the train? And I'm like, no, it's 11:20. Like, I'm not taking the train. Like, a woman in New York City taking the train at 11:20 on a Tuesday when no one's out? Absolutely. Again, teach their own. For me, absolutely not. So I'm like, no, I'm just going to take an Uber. He's like, oh, like, I mean, I'm actually only 5 stops away, so I'm just going to take the train. And I'm like, so not only am I splitting this dinner with you, you also chose a location that was significantly closer to your house. I am on the Upper West Side. I live in the East Village. So not only did I have to pay for this man's meal, but also for an entire expensive Uber ride home. So, you know, $110 later, here we are telling strangers that I am done dating. Except I realized on my way home that I already agreed to a date on Thursday and a different date on Friday. Why? I have no idea. I might as well just cancel at this point.